All right, so my defense is I'm gonna go with the Indianapolis Colts. Um,
Love it.
they were middle in the road a lot of categories last year. Between the 15 to 20 mark in passing defense, rushing defense. Um, I think uh, Leatu Latu is going to be an absolute monster for them. And one of the things that they've lacked for a long time is a pass rush. And I think they got a good linebacking core with the uh, their line with DeForest Buckner, and then Zaire Franklin was good for them last year, and I think they have a solid corner squad. The only thing that they've missed is a pass rush, and I think they're definitely going to be able to get that a lot more this year, which would definitely make the defense higher, maybe in the 15 to 10 range.
Yeah.
And look, they get to play the Titans twice. They get to play Jacksonville twice, and I don't think their schedule is super tough. So I honestly think that I'm going to pick Indy. Like I said, I wouldn't pick them, on my top defense, but if we're looking for sleeper defenses, yeah, I think they're definitely there if you need to spot start them.
Yeah, a quick shout out to Quiddy Pay, Bishop Hendricken guy here, Warwick, Rhode Island. Hell of a player, hell of a pass rusher. He was banged up last year, so you put him back in the mix with Latu. Yeah, that front is gonna be nasty. You got Buckner too, absolutely. Totally agree with that pick. Love it.
All right, so next
Your super flex.
super flex. All right, so let's basically qualify the super duper flex. So basically, what we came up with is, because this is a sleeper draft, and just to kind of spice it up a bit, we're gonna go with what we think
All right.
is the deep of the deep, right?
I'll give you. Well, I actually have it different. I have my vision, and again, this is me. I'll give you two guys I have in mind, and I'll tell you why. And they're both good, but they're both not. Mike Williams, Zeke Elliott, and I'll take whatever one you don't want if you pick one of those guys. For an example, I think Mike Williams could catch 22 balls and have 18 touchdowns with Aaron Rodgers this year. He literally is a fucking touchdown beast machine. He's on
Yeah,
the Jets.
I like both of them.
I think that is going to I think and then I could easily foresee Dowell taking the job in Dallas, but I could also see Zeke having a rebirth of his career at 29. And he caught 50 balls for the pass last year. I think Zeke could have the 18. He could have a How do I think? How do I say this? What's the guy's name that I'm missing from the Pats? The running back to be a goal line guy. Big.
Shane Vereen?
No, big strong guy.
James White.
No, Oregon.
Oh, LeGarrette Blunt.
Okay, I think he could have a 18 touchdown, 400-yard type of year, like just strictly goal line. You know what I mean? Like I could see that working with Dallas. Didn't have that last year. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, I like both of them.
That's what I have for a super flex. If you guys think of anything different, let me know.
No,
Spoken
I
like
both
a
of them.
true Cowboy fan. Spoken
No,
like a true Cowboy
I
fan.
like both the picks, Bob, because I think, especially around the goal line, Rodgers needs a big body, and Garrett Wilson is good between the 20s, but he's not necessarily a goal line guy. So it's going to be a bunch of fade patterns to Mike Williams. Again, if he can stay healthy. But yeah, I like both of those. So use whatever one you want.
But again, I mean, that's what I had in mind for this type of pick. If you
Yeah,
guys have
no,
something
I think
different-
both of those are right on key.
Sharky, how do you feel?
So, are we filming?
No. We're still chatting it out.
We're still chatting about it, and then we'll, because Bob wanted to qualify it first. So just give your
and
opinion,
I'll
then we
do
can
whatever
start over.
one he doesn't. I'll make a case for him. If
Okay.
you could pick he wants it. If you want to steal one of those, you can. Is all I said.
Yeah. I had somebody else in mind, so you can take either or.
Then I'll be a cowboy.
Okay. All right. So kick off. So Shark, you kick it off, and then just do the countdown, and then you go.
Wait,
and then,
isn't it the wraparound though? Gift isn't you?
oh yeah, it's a wraparound. So I'll start, and then Bobby, and then Shark. So
I'm
I'll
going
start
second either way. So
Yeah. All right. Hold on. I gotta find my guy first. Hold on. I had a good one. Hold on. Oh, there we go. Um, oh shit. Nope, I did not. All right, so I'll restart it. Something went wrong and is not being recorded. All right. Oh, here we go. We're back on. Um, all right, so let's see. I'm okay. So I'll count it down.
Shark left.
Oh, it's Shark's. Oh, fucking Shark. His reception sucks. We'll cut all this down. He'll hop back on. Let's see. That'll give me some time here.
All
Okay.
right.
All right. Let's see. Hold on. Um. Uh. do, do, do. Oh, okay. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So, uh, we're gonna go with our super duper flex, with this one, and I'm gonna pick, uh, Jalen Tolbert from the Cowboys, and here's why. So, CD's obviously gonna get his yards, right? That's not a thing, but Brandon Cooks is old. And I think that, and he's also injury prone. There's going to have to be a number 2 for the Cowboys. And I know I'm talking to a Cowboys fan, but I think
No,
Jalen
no
Tolbert
such
has
thing.
that capability. Yeah. Um, but I think he could potentially be that kind of bottom of the barrel sleeper pick to where, listen, CD's going to get his yards, but Dak has to go elsewhere. And I think, Jalen Tolbert could potentially be the guy.
So I'll tell you why I love this pick. First of all, he's having a phenomenal camp. He's been hot in the Dallas coaching ears for a few years now. He's really going to get a chance this year with Gallup gone in the last few years, and um, really nobody to fill that number 2 hole. They're going to fill within. Someone's going to get the targets, like you said. He's having a great camp. CD's going to warrant a lot of coverage. Can't cover everybody. He's going to be the odd guy out. He's going to get man on man coverage. I look for him to have a big year.
All right, Bob, you're up.
I'm gonna stay in Big D. Listen, I think you can see the rebirth of Ezekiel Elliott, and I don't say that as a fan. I say that as just a guy that's um, his girlfriend let him back in the house. He's gonna take advantage of that opportunity. Look, he could easily, in my mind, have upwards of 15 total touchdowns on that team. He caught 50 balls in New England last year. Um, he's always had a great nose for the red zone, the end zone. Him and Dak know each other. He knows the offense. Also, that was Dallas's didn't have a ground and pound type of guy to smash the ball in from the one last year. Listen, the Cowboys are going to get their chances. I think they were the number 1 ranked offense in the league last year as far as points per games. They have a defense that creates a lot of turnovers between sacks and picks. Even though Quinn's gone, they still have a very similar style. They're still ball hawking. They're going to get a lot of opportunities. And I think, the one element they missed last year was the red zone type of running back that could get in between the tackles of tough yards, or even that little play action dish back out to him. I think he's going to have a big year in Dallas. It may not be yardage wise, but I got to see him. I got him around 15 to 18 touchdowns actually, which
Wow. Yeah,
really high
that's not
projection.
out of possibility.
It's not,
So
but
is this like, so you said this girlfriend let him back in the house. So is this basically like he had a good thing going with like a pretty girl, okay bod, and then all of a sudden like she kicks him out. He just goes with like the floozy that just will have him, and then all of a sudden the hot girlfriend lets him back in the house. Is this pretty much what this scenario is?
that's exactly the scenario. Listen, moving sucks. Like these guys get this pride thing in these sport leagues. Like I don't get it. Like okay, you make 15 million, you have a bad year. They're like, oh, we're gonna cut you, or we're gonna see what your market value is, and then it's like, oh, you'll take $1 million to go play in New England.
Yeah.
on the worst offense and go sit in Foxborough type weather? Like, what the hell are you doing? Like, why
Yeah.
doesn't that marriage work at that point? I don't get it. Say, hey, look,
Yeah.
you know what, you're right, or I don't want to leave. Let's give me 2 million or give me 1.5. Like, not the 8 or 9 you were asking for or looking for. Like, I don't know. I just
They're
to
so
me,
damn cheap too. They're so damn cheap, and like the taxes, like that's something New England has to get better at. They want to be in play for like Calvin Ridley and Brandon Ayuk. Is obviously got to put together a better team, but you also have to pay guys more. Like you're in a tough tax bracket.
Well, that's not going to change for the Patriots. It's going to have to change for their politicians. I don't see that changing anytime soon.
No, no.
But
I'm saying give
they
them
got to
more money.
overpay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you got
they
to
got to overpay
overpay.
for guys. Yeah,
You got to
Yeah,
overpay.
like
well,
for the
I
weather,
mean,
for the climate, for or not. Those are the two. Those are the same thing. But just like,
Yeah,
especially for the
listen, we could
team that
have
he
a
was
whole
going
other
to.
segment on states and their taxes, but it's gonna stop making a
That's a
big
different.
difference. But
That's a
again,
different
I agree with
podcast.
you, Sharky, and that's not going to change here in New England. Probably not going to change much in
it
LA
should.
either.
They're gonna have
If
to
I change.
overpay. They're gonna have to.
Yeah, well,
All right, so I'm stuck between either riding this cowboy train or going with
there's
Tyler
another
Boyd.
one. There's another one.
Uh, it's Brandon Cooks. Like when I think
Oh,
of
come
what
on.
Well, wait a minute. Wait a minute. One of us should be right
what?
here, though. One
All
of
right,
us would be right.
all right. One of us is going to be right because I picked the guy who's going to replace him. So you give your reason.
That was a
Because
fair one,
Brandon
Sharky.
Cooks is a machine. Dude, Brandon Cooks is a machine. Like 54 catches, 657 receiving yards, 8 touchdowns. All this guy does in his career is score touchdowns. Like when you look at the Saints and how that offense was built with Michael Thomas, with Drew Brees, and you have Brandon Cooks running down the middle, like that's how it's going to be with the Cowboys. It's going to be CeeDee Lamb on the outside. Tolbert, probably plays slot. But Brandon Cooks is going to be the deep shot, the deep threat. He's a guy that can last. Trust me. Even though he's 20, going on 31 years old, but the guy's had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 1,000 plus yard seasons. So I'm going all in with Brandon Cooks. Last year, he had 8 touchdowns. The year before, a little bit of slump with 3, but then 6, 6. Give me Brandon Cooks. I think he's a perfect guy to fit this system. And again, I just wanted to fit, with the Cowboys train. Otherwise, I would have went Tyler Boyd because Tyler Boyd, all he does is catch balls. And I think Will Levis would love him. But to stay on the Cowboy train, I'm going Brandon Cooks.
I mean, the production numbers are there. You said he's a machine, but he's a machine that breaks down a lot. So you kind of have to. That's the reason why I picked the Jalen Tolbert pick because I think that Brandon Cooks is 31. Tolbert's a young guy. Cooks has some pretty major injuries in his past. Tolbert doesn't yet. So I mean, the production numbers are there. So I don't think you're wrong there. I just think that with his look, anytime receivers get over 30 years old, it's not great. It's like Larry Fitzgerald and like who else?
Hines
Well,
Ward. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
sure.
Jerry Rice.
Jerry Rice.
But I'm saying
True.
that like okay, those are Jerry Rice is an all-time guy. He's an anomaly. He's an asterisk. But I'm saying
No, I
of
get
of
you.
yeah, of that talent caliber, right? Kind of the not the super duper star, but like a guy who not a huge guy, takes a lot of hits. Usually those guys past 30 years old, they're down the backside. So that was the Jalen Tolbert pick. But look, your production numbers are there. Like I can't argue with those.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I just think he's like a wide receiver, quarterback's best friend. Sorry, Bob. Go ahead.
No, listen. Dak Prescott isn't playing for a contract for Dallas. He's playing for an audition for another team. I'm convinced. Rumors are kind of what I want him to be. Like, go take care of CV, Mika, move on from Dak. Didn't work. We tried. Gave it a good run. We don't think you have what it takes. Sorry. Seen enough of it. So, that being said, Dak's a phenomenal fantasy quarterback. Phenomenal. And he'll put up borderline MVP numbers like he did last year. I actually think he should have won the MVP over Lamar. Beat him in every statistical category, maybe some rushing yards, but he throws the ball much better. I I can easily see Dallas having a monster offensive